I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof. Cause I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth. Cause I'm happy I'm alone. If you know what happiness is the truth. Cause I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do. Here comes you talking this and that. Hello, Elizabeth. This is your listening. Hello, Sanchi. Are you at work? Sanchi?
Yeah, I came here for like a freelance gig, so I was just sitting and completing my work. But now I have to go for house inspection, so I'll be going in a bus.
Okay. All right. Well, we are just happy that you are here. Let me just turn this. Oh, now I can't find where I've got him. My Pharrell. Pharrell is still very happy.
Yeah. Always
Hello,
happy.
Bios. Hello, Nelson.
Welcome, Nelson and Vios.
We're going to start in 3.75 seconds.
Accurate.
Very accurate, but I'm not sure that that's I'm not generally that accurate with things. Lordy, welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Wednesday session of Side Hustle School. Elijah and I were literally just saying about how few weeks we have got left. Like we've got Monday, then we've got Wednesday, and then we've got graduation Monday. Final graduation. Whoop. Mind blown. That means we've only got like a couple of sessions left together. Who thinks the time has gone really super duperly fast? Me too. I mean, it's nearly 10 weeks, but lordy, it's gone fast. Hello, Chris. Hello, Antonia. Welcome to you. Before we get too far, I'd like to pay acknowledgement to the traditional custodians of the lands and waterways, wherever you may be, and pay respect to elders past, present, and emerging. Today we are talking about comfort zones. Who loves their comfort zone? I used to love my comfort zone. I lived there for a very long time. Hello, Carly. Hi. Look at you looking very sexy in the one shoulder number.
Thank you.
Very nice. So today, comfort zone. Oh, let's do a little test. Can I get you to type in on a scale of 1 to 10? And Chris and Antonio, if you can type in, Chris, what your number, Antonio, what your number is, what your comfort zone number is. So 1 out of 10 means that your comfort zone is really small. 10 means it feels like it could be stretched quite a long way. Where are you? Where's your number on your comfort zone? Does it feel like it's kind of tight? That means it's 1 out of 10. Does it feel like it has got a lot more room? Bios, yes. You have a question?
Yeah, I don't understand the question.
Okay, I don't understand it either. So I'm really glad you asked. Your comfort zone, if you feel like it's already a bit tight, like your comfort zone is getting a bit not so comfortable anymore, then put a 1 out of 10. That means it's a bit restrictive. It's starting to feel a bit restrictive. If it's a 10, then you feel like you've got a bit of room to move. You've got some play space in your comfort zone. Maybe you're ready to start shifting things up a little bit. Please put your number in the chat box. Let's have a look what we have got here. There's no right and wrong answer here either, by the way. Bayos, go ahead.
Yeah, I still don't get it. I can tell you
Tell me.
My interpretation is, if I'm super comfortable, it's a 10, meaning I'm not going to do anything further with my life because I'm content with where I'm at.
Other way
Whereas-
around.
Okay.
If you're super content, that's a 1. If you're
Gotcha.
super not content, and maybe it's sort of the other way around, you're
Okay.
ready to do some moving.
Yep. Okay. I've got you.
Good-o. Oh, Antonio, I love it. You've got splinters in your bottom because you're sitting on the fence at a number 5. You're neither ready nor not ready. It's neither tight and it's not comfortable. That's what we call splinters in your backside because you're sitting on the fence. Love it, love it. Can we all just say hello to Elijah? Hello also to you. Welcome. Yay. So tell me, I'd love for some of you guys to come off mute or type into the chat box what you guys know about comfort zones. Who wants to? Let's come off mute. Forget typing. We're the crew. We're the hood. We're your side hustlers. Who wants to tell us about comfort zone?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Go ahead.
It's daunting, but it's also exciting at the same time. There's a lot of unknowns, but I'm also okay with not succeeding in my plan, because at the same time I know that I've learnt a shitload and I'm a lot further along within myself and my knowledge than if I was to do nothing and stay exactly where I'm at. So
Who feels like? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm constantly chasing something new. I believe if we're not learning something constantly, it is a wasted life.
Elijah and I were just talking about that. I was literally saying the same thing because we were talking about, he said, oh, I'm realizing, I don't want to be talking out of school, Elijah, but we said, you were saying about how, do you want to share the story?
Yeah. I was just saying, I'm realizing how much I'm enjoying learning and facilitating. And yeah, I feel like I'm still learning a lot while facilitating. Yeah.
And I may or may not have said, you know what, unless you're learning, unless you're growing, life becomes really boring.
You did.
And we all have the opportunity to continually learn and grow and expand ourselves. And that's what comfort zones are all about. Hello, Elizabeth. Good to see your face. Are you at work?
Yes, I'm at one of the venues.
Okay.
But I think I'm all good now because everyone's gone. Yep.
Yay. Now, I heard some very exciting news that you have landed on what you're going to be doing with your side hustle.
Yes, thank you so much. You were definitely a catapult in that direction. So
Yay. So tell us.
I appreciate your words of wisdom.
You're so welcome. Where have you landed?
So on the route of storytelling, it's the idea is an app which basically promotes that and promotes more connection and people sharing stories, and being encouraged to, I guess, be more vulnerable in that respect and open themselves up. And so as you're also listening to other people's stories and, learning from their experiences, you're also then, digging deeper into yourself and sharing your own stories as well. But it's done in an anonymous fashion, which I guess makes it feel a bit more comfortable and less scary because it's just, small steps to get there.
A bit safer. Okay, I have a big question for you then, and that is how you make money out of it.
We're still thinking on that front.
Okay.
I've done
good.
some brainstorming over the past couple of days. And I'm hoping that, doing a bit more reflection and a bit more research, we can start to really find a way to monetize it. So the answer is it's coming.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Love it. I love that you've landed finally on something.
Thank you.
Just saying to Elijah what a difference it makes when you've landed on something, and then all of this stuff seems to just start locking into place a whole lot easier.
Mm.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, Vios, you had your hand up for something. Doesn't matter now? Okay. Who else would like to share about comfort zones and what it means to them?
Well, I 100% agree with you that I get so bored when I'm just too comfortable that I'm not able to do anything. Like back in COVID, when I went back home to India and I was just there doing nothing. It was so boring that I went into a bad space because it was so boring. And then to overcome it, I had to create uncomfortable situations for myself that I'll wake up at 5 a.m. every day just so I'm uncomfortable.
Yay!
So I used to do that. It was a weird way to come out of it, but that is the only thing that helped me actually come out of that. So I used to wake up at 6 a.m., do yoga, do journaling and all that stuff, and then only I was able to overcome it. So yeah, it's
Okay.
really important to be uncomfortable.
Yes, and we're going to work out, because it seems, it's really interesting, isn't it? Like in the world, people say, they use the word just a lot. Oh, just, there's even that just do it. Oh, just be confident. Oh, just expand your comfort zone. Oh, just jump like right out of your comfort zone. Oh, just. And you know what? Like there are a whole lot of people that say just, and I can tell you what I just want to do with them. And it goes like this. I want to punch them in the face, because just so minimizes the energy that it can take to take that next step. Who agrees with that? When people say, oh, just do it. Oh, just do it. As the former shyest person in the universe, I know that when I used to hear those things and people saying, oh, you just have to be confident. I was like, if I knew how to be confident, I wouldn't be the shyest person in the universe, right? If I knew how to jump outside of my comfort zone, I wouldn't have it sitting here starting to strangle me. Yeah. Hello, Bryony. Hello, Catherine. So today we're going to be looking at how can we expand our comfort zone in ways that are actually useful and sustainable. Yeah, useful and sustainable, because in human behavior, there is this thing about if you try and, let me just explain it to you. With your comfort zone, if it's here, yeah, if it looks like this big, and you try and do something that is way over here, who's ever seen that picture of like, here's your comfort zone, here's where all the magic is? Who's ever seen that kind of meme or picture before? Yeah. Your comfort zone's here, but like everything amazing, all the magic happens way over here, way in Fantasyland. Who's seen that? Yes. What I can tell you that as a human behavior expert, that formula of you have to leap way outside of your comfort zone to get anything done is complete BS. Complete absolute crap. Now, I know that there are gurus in the world. I know Darren last week talked about Tony Robbins. He's somebody that advocates for massive action, take massive action. And I can tell you that that doesn't work for a number of reasons. Yeah. Because even that word massive action, like massive, what's massive to Elizabeth may be tiny to Elijah, and the other way around. So even that space of massive action, you can take massive action to get any outcomes. Whoa. What I know is that when people go and take a massive leap outside of their comfort zone, What do you think it does? Does it stick? Does it stay? Or what happens?
Implodes.
Implodes? Yeah.
I
It's
think
not
breakdown happens.
Sorry, Sanchi?
I just said that I think breakdown happens if you do it straight away, like everything.
Breakdown happens. What I can tell you is that it leads to two things. One is definitely if things implode. But if your comfort zone is here and you try and leap all the way over here, what happens is you may land over there, but you end up coming back to here, or even worse, you end up coming back to here. Your comfort zone gets smaller. Now, how do I know that? Well, I am sometimes a bit evil and test things out. And I tested this out on a former housemate of mine quite accidentally, because I thought that it would be really good for him. He was quite an introverted person, and I thought it would be really good for him to go and jump out of a perfectly good aeroplane. Yeah. With a parachute, you know, and somebody else strapped to him. But I had done this when I was like 35. It was my 35th birthday. I just got divorced. I was like, yeah, I'm going to jump out of a perfectly good airplane from 14,000 feet and see what happens. And it was kind of this thing for me that I had really looked forward to for a really long time. And for me, jumping out of that plane, it was breaking another level of comfort zone. So I encouraged my housemate. Let's say I consistently encouraged him. Let's say I nagged him and annoyed him and told him how great it will be. Oh my God, your world will never be the same if you jump out of an airplane. It's fantastic. You have to do it. It's amazing. And eventually he did. He got up the courage. We went together up to Ngambie on the way to Shepparton. We got there. He was like this, absolutely freaking out. Anyway, gets into the plane, goes up 14,000 feet, eventually jumps out of the plane, strapped to a instructor guy, lands. I took a video of him and his face looked like this. He was like the happiest, most excited, like exactly what I was hoping for. Like his face was just comfort zone way over here. Yeah. Ooh, like massive explosion. I've gone from this shy introverted person to I've just jumped out of a plane 14,000 feet and landed. Whoa, I'm the king of the world. We came home. It was buzzing like the whole way home, absolutely just buzzing. And then the next day he went to work and he came home from work and I was like, so what did the guys at work say? And guess what the guys at work said? Have a guess. Have a guess what the guys at work said.
He never told them, did he?
Exactly.
Oh.
He never even told them. His comfort zone went from here to here falsely. It was a false leap because I had kind of pushed him out of the plane. I mean, I hadn't because I wasn't on the plane, but I had sort of pushed him out of the plane. And then his comfort zone didn't just go to here, it went backwards. His comfort zone got smaller. He never even told them. This is what trying to go too far out of your comfort zone in one enormous leap does to you. It means that you withdraw, you revert sometimes, and it can take longer to get to where you want to get to. So what can we do instead?
Take smaller steps or
Oh,
not leap.
Catherine. Go ahead, yes.
Oh no, just saying not taking such a big leap or a big step.
And why do you think that is important?
I think it's more like a developmental thing. So you sort of, you know, take it slowly so that you progress, so you can see the progression.
Yeah. Sanchi said here, baby steps, building blocks, bit by bit by bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. Because even if your comfort zone is here and the thing that you want to achieve is way over here, if you expand your comfort zone, if you do it like this, guess what? Eventually you still get there, and you take in all of these other things along the way that continue to build your confidence, build your courage, test you, allow you to grow. Remember a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the core needs of humans and how one of them that was kind of right in the middle was about growth. Yeah, as humans, we need to grow. But to do that, taking this enormous leap, way, way, way too much. Yeah. Now, there is another story I want to share with you just to really drive this point home. Who has heard about the story of the frogs in the scientists that dealt with frogs in a pot of water? Elijah, you have?
I vaguely remember it.
Tell us what you vaguely remember.
Okay, I'm not sure if it's exactly correct, but so there was, so generally frogs in a pot, they try to to jump out, but I think they put them in water, and they found that if the water is like really hot, gets hot really fast, then they jump out, I think. But I think that part's probably wrong. But if the temperatures slowly increase, they don't notice it as much. But I think that was the insight.
That's pretty much it. So if you take frogs, because scientists are a bit weird, right? Are there any scientists here? Catherine, yes,
Me.
of course you're a scientist. Yes, you're a bit weird. So we know scientists are weird, right? And they do these weird experiments on things. So they took a bunch of frogs, put them in a pot, and in cold water, they live in cold water in and out. And they slowly turned up the heat. Yeah.
Mm.
Until the water was almost boiling. And so there was a whole lot of frogs that before the water was boiling, but when it was really quite hot, they jumped out. There was other frogs that ended up as frog soup. Yeah. That gradual cooked them. But some others that by the time it was really, really hot, it was only then that they jumped out. Yeah. Because we can put up with little bits, little increments of change all the time. Now, what they did was take another lot of frogs, because again, scientists are weird and they're sort of a bit mean. And the temperature, like when they had the water at a hot temperature and they put the frogs in, what did the frogs do straight away?
Jump out.
Straight out. Yeah. This is like your comfort zone. When you expand it gradually, you can deal with more and more and more and more. When you have everything landed on you like that all at once, it becomes overwhelming and you go, ooh. Who's ever had that? Like, what do you guys do when you're in overwhelm? What's your strategy for overwhelm?
You retreat, you go into protection mode.
Mm-hmm.
No, you look for comfort. It might be another person. Yeah, anything, anything that's familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember, we go to that space of certainty. Remember? Yeah. When things are overwhelming, Sanchi says crying. Yes. That also gives you certainty, because you know that if you cry enough, what happens? What happens when you've cried enough? Come off mute, Sanchi. When you've cried enough, what happens?
I feel at peace because I'm like, I let it out.
Yes. Crying is a brilliant thing because it just allows you to kind of release a whole lot of energy and stuff and whatever. So when you've got to the strategy of I've cried enough, I go, okay, I'm feeling like, yep, all right, I'm there. Yeah. We go for something that is comfortable. And that's great. Comfortable certainty is a good thing, but we need, in order to continue to grow, continue to expand our lives, our businesses, our thinking, we need to change and expand our comfort zone. Because who has recognized that sometimes if you stay in your comfort zone for too long, it becomes an uncomfortable prison rather than a comfort zone? Is it just me? No. Yes. And that's when your comfort zone, when you want to expand, but there's something like the walls become like a prison around you and you keep yourself in that small space. Now, I know that there will be some of you on this call that super duper recognize that because they may be feeling it right now even. That tightness, that constriction, that, oh, I can't grow, I can't be bigger, I can't, but what if, yeah? So how do we take those little steps forward? How can we build that space of courage within us to not to know that we don't have to go from here to here? This is not about going from 0 to hero in one step. This is about going from A to B to C to D. How can we do that? What have you guys done to expand your comfort zone?
So like that I was telling you about, like waking up at 5 a.m. That didn't happen in one day, obviously. So like exercising, how I did it was I used to do like 5-minute yoga and then 10-minute yoga, and then this is how like I increased it to like an hour of yoga. And when I was doing like 5-minute yoga, my brother used to tell me that like this won't work. Like, what are you doing? 5 minutes of yoga, and then you say, oh, I've done yoga today, oh, I've done yoga today. And then later after like some time, he's like, oh, that works actually, that works.
Because who's ever gone to, I don't know, try and do exercise or something like that, and you absolutely, like the next day, your muscles are shattered and you can't hardly move. Who's ever done that before? Yes. This is why, because like, yes, it's important to stretch your muscles. You know, you want to feel some burn, but if it's so much burn that like it's painful to do, you know, to like lie in bed, guess what happens? You don't go back the next day, do you? You don't go back in for more. You kind of go, oh, it's all too hard, it's all too much. I think I'm just going to go back to doing the nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else have people done? Catherine, what have you done to expand your comfort zone?
I'm not the best person to answer this because I'm the type who will just take the big leaps without thinking twice.
And how does that work for you? Because for some people who are weird, because remember, Catherine's a scientist, so she's weird anyway. Going big leaps at a time How is that working for you?
I think, I take the big leap and then I try to adapt. I think it helps me because I'm quite resilient. So I'm just able to sort of adapt and then try my best to, sink or swim and not sink, and just, stay afloat. And then just keep kicking and staying afloat
Madly.
uh, until I burn out again, and then I need a change. And then, because if I'm kicking so much and I feel like it's like, you feel stuck again. And that feeling of just, rinse and repeat, you're kicking constantly. So then you want to, and well, for me, I want another challenge. So I will throw myself into another deep water and repeat the thing, and do the same thing again.
Is it just me, or does that sound kind of exhausting? I don't know. Is it just me? That sounds a bit exhausting to chuck yourself in the deep end and then paddle like mad, kicking, screaming until you kind of get used to it. And then I don't know if anybody else noticed the words burnout, but I certainly heard the words burnout. And then you get comfortable and then you go, oh, I'm comfortable. So now I'm going to do it all over again, chuck myself into the deep end. Absolutely.
Mm.
My question is, how is that working for you?
I think at the start it's fun. I get a bit of an adrenaline rush from it. It's interesting, but then you're right. It is very exhausting.
It sounds exhausting. It sounds really exhausting, and especially to go from, because it almost sounds like crisis to crisis to crisis to crisis, like deliberately putting yourself into that situation of sink or swim, sink or swim, sink or swim, sink or swim. Yeah, that's exhausting. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. Lordy, lordy, lordy. All right, Bryony, you said public speaking. Tell us about that. I think for a lot of people, public speaking is like one of the top 2 fears of most people on the planet. Like most people would rather be in the coffin than deliver the eulogy.
Actually, I am the school captain, so recently I've been doing more public speaking, in assemblies and speaking in the microphone, around the school, and it really has been a big step out of my comfort zone because I'm not used to doing that, but it was fun.
So how did you start? Like, was there a kind of a, did you sneak up on it, or did you straight in?
A big leap.
Big leap. Yeah.
So when Catherine said she takes big leaps and then burns out, I was like, yeah, that's me as well.
Oh, that's me too. Yeah. And you know what?
Yeah.
Oh, so go ahead.
No, because the principal, so I'm gonna tell you something sad. So a year 7 actually died. So like a week ago, the year 7 came and then had a heart attack in the school and then he died. So we had to commemorate him and do a speech on the microphone. And then the principal was like, who would like to talk in the microphone? And then I put my hand up quickly without thinking. And then the next day I went to go talk on the microphone and then I just did it. So it was like a bang, but it was fun and I felt like I really did something because I wasn't really close to the year 7, but it still was sad. Yeah.
It's very, very sad. Very sad. And congratulations for you, because public speaking is one of the top 2 or 3 fears amongst dying. Yeah. And public speaking, they're about even in the fear factor. Yeah. So congratulations on that. And thank you for honoring that young person's life. Vios had said planning and research. Tell us what you mean by that.
Can you repeat the question?
I can't remember what it was. Who remembers what I think, like, what do you do to be able to expand your comfort zone?
Oh, yeah. The only time I'm expanding my comfort zone is when I'm delving into something that is unknown. And
That's for
each
sure.
time, yeah, and each time I'm delving into something that is unknown, I want to get as comfortable as I possibly can prior to making that leap. So I will research it. I will crunch numbers on it, and if those numbers and that research start marrying up, and it seems to be a good idea, I'll still jump into it. So there's still a level of uncomfortability,
Yeah.
but all I'm doing is minimizing my risks, um, and just ensuring that the success of whatever I'm about to embark on is maximized.
So it
So
sort of sounds like you sneak up on things and then the leap is not that big anymore. It's that big.
yeah, it's all calculated.
Yeah. That's a
Um,
really smart way of expanding your comfort zone, is to take those educated risks rather than just going, oh, I'm going to do nothing and then I'm going to do everything.
yeah, exactly. Because the way I look at it is, if I do just make that transition without the research behind it, I am going to feel like a fraud, and more than likely, I am going to be a fraud. So,
But
what are the
do you
chances?
get that doing that research is actually expanding your comfort zone? It's bringing you closer to the thing that you're wanting to do. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
then to take that decision of I'm going to take that another next step, you're not, the leap is not enormous anymore. You've snuck up closer to it and closer to it and
yep,
closer to it.
yep. Yeah. It's not as daunting because I have done my research, and I know that um, whatever research I've done, when I get to that transition point, I know that that is within my capabilities.
Yeah. Who loves that idea that you can kind of sneak up on your comfort zone, expanding it all the way so that when you take that leap of whatever the next thing is, you already come a whole lot closer to it. Who thinks that that's maybe also got some really good merit within it? Yeah. The thing about life and the thing about comfort zones is that you kind of have a choice, and that is that, like, life is going to squeeze you or you get to squeeze life. That's the choice you get to make with your comfort zone. You can, like, your comfort zone will start getting more and more and more restrictive the longer you stay in there. Who remembered what Darren, our guest speaker at the last graduation, who remembered what he had to say about comfort zones?
Just do it. And
He
then
did
once you've
say
done it,
just do it. Yeah. I mean, it's like the whole just, which is a real challenging where I just struggle with that concept of I just do it, because it makes it seem like it's really easy when things to just do are not that simple. And, you know, you look at, you know, when we kind of delved a bit further and he was like, oh, look, I changed jobs here and I changed jobs here and I changed jobs here. But yeah, look, you know, I burned out several times and I had to apply for 1,500 jobs before I just leapt into that next career change. So it's not, I just did it. There was a whole lot of stuff that he did to create that. Now, first of all, what he did, I'll get to your question in a moment, Brian, but leave your hand up. The first of all, what he had to do was change this. This had to change first. His thinking, his mindset to go, you know what? That change is even possible. Because when we have this belief inside of our head that, okay, expanding our comfort zone, doing something that feels uncomfortable, if we have the belief inside of our head that it's impossible, guess what? You're right. if the belief that you have is that something is impossible, it absolutely will never happen. If you believe that it can happen, then it does. I remember the story of, you know, the 4-minute mile. Yeah, for years and years and years, it was believed to be impossible that a human could run a mile in 4 minutes or under. Like, impossible. We're not built for it. We don't have the lung capacity. We don't have the muscles. We don't have this. We don't have that. And one guy said to himself, I believe that I can do it. He had to change his thinking and his beliefs first. Once he did that, then trained, did all the work, did everything, and then made the 4-minute mile. Now, once he did that, within a number of weeks of that happening, there was like 4 other people that smashed it. But he had to change his thinking first to be able to expand the comfort zone of the entire athletics world, that it was even possible. This is the difference that changing your thinking, changing your mindset does. If you believe that something cannot happen, it will not. If you believe that you can do something, you can continue to create that change towards it. And it means that you're also right. Bryony.
It just made me think when you said that just do it sounds simple, like it just made me remember how you emphasized the point saying that as humans we like to simplify things, and if we don't simplify it, it becomes too complex and then we just procrastinate it. So I think that's where his thinking was coming from. And how can we rephrase the word other than just saying just do it?
That's a great question. Ask the team.
How can we rephrase the word just do it?
Who would like to help Bryony with that one? How can you rephrase it, reframe it from just do it into something that is more user friendly? Who wants to have a go? Because
Wait,
there's no.
I think I just thought of one. You can either say you can choose to do it. Maybe.
Heavens. Do I want to choose to do this thing? I mean, that's super powerful, isn't it? Because if somebody else says to you, "Oh, just do it," and you decide, "I choose to do it," which one feels more empowering to you? Just do it, or I'm choosing to do it?
And another quote, like, nothing changes unless you change.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. Nothing changes if nothing changes. That's why in this program we have been pushing mindset stuff so much, because you got to change this first. When you change your thinking and the beingness of who you are, you change your actions and you change your outcomes. I can't remember with this group if I have shared the life formula of be plus do equals have. No. Oh my God. I can't believe I haven't shared this. It's my favorite. I have a series of life formulas, and the most brilliantest, amazingest one, the one that I believe is the most overarching one, is a formula that goes be plus do equals have. What that means is, who do I need to be plus what do I need to do to have what I want to have? Be plus do equals have. And it's in that order. Now, for most of us as humans, we have a life formula of do plus do equals have. It's a formula that our parents had, that our grandparents had, all many generations back. What do I have to do plus what do I have to do to get what I want to have? Which means that the thinking is, if you're not achieving what you want to have, then you have to do more and do more and do more and do more. And if that still doesn't work, then do more And if it still doesn't work, do more. And if that still doesn't work, keep doing more. And if that doesn't work, do bloody more, right? Just keep doing more and more and more until you burn out, you explode and everything, right? There's other people that have gone, I'm going to go so far away from do plus do formula. I'm going to go B plus B equals have. We know these people as space cadets. They're kind of a bit, yeah, like I just want to be really kind and sweet and nice, and I'm just gonna for a while and everything will just happen and I'll just get what I want to have because I'll just manifest it all without actually doing anything. And those people don't necessarily have very much to their lives. Yeah. Then there's other people. I had a friend who had this formula, which I have to think about because it's back to front, and it goes have plus do equals be. Her thinking was, what do I have to have plus what do I have to do to be happy, joyful, successful, loved, confident, insert any of those things here. The problem with that formula for her and for anybody that uses it is that her story went like this. When I have a great boyfriend and win Tats Lotto, and I'm doing amazing things like flying around the world on holidays, then I get to be happy. Now, my friend has won Tats Lotto. My friend did have a boyfriend. My friend did go on holidays, but the Tats Lotto win was never enough. The boyfriend was never good enough. The holidays were never long enough, and therefore she could never be happy. That back to front formula is always in a space of lack. Yeah, there's never enough. Everything's like just tantalizingly out of reach, which means that she could never ever be happy or joyful or confident or feel loved or any of those things. So the formula of be plus do equals have, it is the most simple formula. It is like in total 8 letters. Be plus do equals have. Incredibly powerful, because what it does is it gets you to think about who's the person that I need to be. When I change that, when I work on the person that I need to be, the actions that I do also change. Then the outcome that I have also changes. So you think about it. If you are somebody who is being in a growth mindset, being somebody who's happy to be a bit uncomfortable, in their expanding their comfort zone. If I'm in that space of I want to be somebody who is growth orientated, then what are the things that I do that match that? I expand my comfort zone. I put myself into opportunities where I'm going to be stretched. And guess what the outcome is? I have these really amazing outcomes. If I go into something and I go, I'm closed, my mind is closed, I'm stuck, I'm not doing anything, I'm keeping everything tight, I'm keeping everything protected, I'm keeping everything small, everything is just going to stay as it is. What does that do to the doing? Tell me.
You're not doing.
You're not doing. That's it. Because the being, you are in that space of, I'm just going to stay stuck. Therefore, the doing that you do just reflects that. It reflects, I'm not going to try anything new. I'm not going to try anything different. I'm not going to expand my comfort zone. I'm just going to stay in that stuckness. And then the outcome that you have is exactly the same. Yeah. So it's up to you. You get to squeeze life, or life gets to start squeezing you. And you get to choose, because who's the boss of you? Point so that you know, that I know, that you know, that we all know, that everybody knows, that everybody knows. Yes. So you get to choose if you want to squeeze life, squeeze all the juice out of it, or if you want life to start squeezing you. Because I can tell you, and you already know, that when you stay in that stuck space, when you are anti-growth in your thinking, which means stuckness, if you are anti-growth, life starts doing this. Everything starts feeling tight and scrunched and just horrid. So you get to choose. So I'm going to ask you now, please type in your answer so that everybody knows, Which option do you want? You squeeze life or life squeeze you? Please type in. Let's make it an official thing. Which one do you want? I squeeze life or life squeezes me? I think Catherine was having some internet issues there. Elizabeth says, I squeeze life. Woohoo! Bryony, I squeeze life. Woohoo! Chris says, squeeze life. Woohoo! Nelson says, squeeze life with lots of exclamation marks. Yeah. Elijah says, I squeeze life. Alex says, squeeze life. Yes. All right. Now that you have put that into writing, decided that that's what you want for you, I'm going to give you a second with some music, because you know how much I like music, and I'd like for you to type in one thing that you can do, that you can allocate time, allocate energy to expand your comfort zone just a little bit. Type it, but don't press enter. Yeah, type it and just don't press enter, because we're going to do all the enter all at the same time. Have a think about it. Take a moment. One thing. It's all it is. Just one thing that you can do for yourself that is a stretch for you. This is something that is a stretch for you, but not one of those stretches. Something that is enough of a stretch. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. Oh, and when you've got it, give me the thumbs up so I know that we're there.
Second thing, second off, tell me what you think that I could be. I'm the one that said my CEO.
Thanks, Elton. How are we all going with our one thing that is just going to be a little bit scary, but not so overwhelmingly scary? One action. I got Nelson, I've got Elizabeth, I've got Elijah has done theirs. Who else has finished? One action to take that you're absolutely decided that you're going to take. Give us a thumbs up when you've got it done. Because I'd like to do like a waterfall of responses coming through. Because that's a little bit, sexy. I'm going to give you guys another like 10 more seconds. Make sure that it scares you a little. All right, let's leave the imagined dragons to keep believing. All right, on the count of 3, can I get you to press enter? 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look at what your decisions are about what you're going to do for you as something to expand your comfort zone. One action. Elizabeth said, setting a firm boundary. Oh, making it a non-negotiable to block out time every day to do something that is important to myself. Amaze balls. Come off mute. How much time do you want to make for tomorrow or today? I mean, you've still got time today. How much time are you going to allocate for today?
I think we'll do a solid hour. And I think what scares me about that is not compromising and then showing up for myself and doing that consistently.
Yeah.
And, if that then means needing to have discussions to be like, hey, this is something that's, like a value, it's non-negotiable. Can we work around it? And then I guess having, the confidence to be so assured in that sense to someone else, even though like to them it might not be important, but for me it is, and then honoring myself in that way.
Love it. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how scary is it?
I would say, depends on the kind of conversation. Let's go with a 7.
Okay. Yeah. So it's pretty up there.
It depends on the conversation. I feel like work, if it was like a work conversation, then it would be more of a 7. But then if it was, I guess setting that with friends or with family, I would feel more confidence. That would be like a 2.5.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're depending on the situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But making that an absolute must for you, and whether you go like it must be an hour or it must be half an hour and I can expand from that, that's entirely up to you. Because sometimes, as who was it that said, who was it? Sanchi, who said, I started with 5 minutes and then I made it 10 minutes and then I expanded it. See if that works for you. Try out some different things. Yeah. But making it an absolute non-negotiable for you. Talk about expand. Because even that space of making that a firm boundary, how scary is that on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think the firmness and, making sure to not let it, fade. I feel like it's daunting because I've never really done it properly before. So yeah, pretty scary because it's new.
Yeah. Can we please give Elizabeth a round of applause for choosing her to be good to her? Yeah. You get like, woohoo, because it's huge, right? Like this, to me, hearing you say, I'm setting a boundary for myself and I'm like this is important to me, that is huge, and it needs to be recognized and celebrated. So can I recommend, are you open to recommendations and suggestions? Yeah. When you completed your time of that block out time, do something that celebrates it, whatever that is. Yeah, in a way that is meaningful to you and something that's not too over the top, right? Because this is something that you want to be doing every day. So whether that is, I don't know, taking 60 seconds to dance out, rock out to a song, or whether it is whatever it is that it is an appropriate level reward for you, reward yourself. Yeah, because when you reward yourself for taking that action, it reinforces that, you know what, I've done something that is stretching me and good things have come from it. Yeah, that's for everybody as well. Nelson said, network with and pitch referral partners who can provide steady leads. Nelson, let's have a chat to you. Are you there? Are you able to talk?
Hey, yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So that's a very big thing. That feels like it's sort of an expand your comfort zone that big. How many do you want to start with?
Probably not too many, because
Mhm.
I'm just in like negotiations now, so we can't even provide. We're doing mortgage broking,
Yep.
but we can't even provide the service yet because we're just finalizing like the paperwork basically. But yeah, we only want to start with like 1 or 2 referral partners because to see how we go, how quickly we can process them, sort of thing, and then aiming to streamline that down to as quickly as we can, like process a client.
So what if part of your boundary expansion and your comfort zone expansion was just to have some conversations, just like connection conversations, just going out and having a chat?
Yeah, I've been talking to other brokers and stuff that I don't know or anything. It's been good. But yeah, I haven't spoken to any referral partners yet, but I'm just
Okay.
planning to write a pitch and some value proposition sort of thing. And yeah.
What if you had those some conversations first?
Yeah, I could. I just can't
Yeah.
provide them their service yet.
That doesn't matter. Like, I think with something like that, like if it's a referral partner, relationships, yeah, super important. Anywhere that there is that kind of referral partners, they want to know that you are a decent person, that you're not kind of a bit of an a-hole. Yeah. So remember Darren said, you know, I call up people to say, I've got nothing to say to you, but I just wanted to call you up. Like those kind of conversations where it's just like, hey, I just wanted to ring up and just say hi. Like nobody does that.
Yeah.
Nobody does that, but such an important thing, because when you do that, people, and then you kind of zip your lip, people will share stuff with you about the challenges that they're having, about, you know, what it is that you could do better or differently than what other people have done.
Yeah. I
Yeah?
definitely I've noticed that just with speaking with some of the brokers I've been speaking to. They've given me their insights on how, like, what they recommend I should do and stuff. It's been actually good, helpful.
Yeah. You know, one of the biggest things, the lessons that I learned when I started my business was asking questions and shutting the hell up, because people will give you so many answers if you allow them and give them the space to tell you what the problems are that they are having, or how, like, people have got solutions even. You know, people will say, oh, I wish you could do this. Oh, if only people had thought about doing something this way instead. Yeah. And that's a really powerful way of building and creating those connections, expanding your comfort zone into, I'm not even calling you to pitch you anything. I just want to call you to see how I can help you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks.
Love it, love it, love it. Elijah said he wants to do one podcast this week. He also said he had to leave, so we can't go any further with that one. Chris, learn how to do a front flip off the pier. Yay. And Antonia, to get into the water at the beach up to my knees. Antonia, you've got to come off mute. I'm sensing that there's a bit of a fear of the water.
Just a tad, yes.
Yes, yes. And how, like, to get up to your knees, what's the fear score out of 10?
I think up to my knees is not too bad now, but it's taken years to kind of get to there. But actually being in the beach, I haven't done that for a long time. Like I've been in the pool up to my knees.
Okay, so what? So up to your knees, what's the fear score? Like, what's the?
I don't know, probably a 4, I guess. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Then how much is that actually sort of pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone just a little bit?
probably just a bit. It's not as big as it used to be. It used to be massive before. I wouldn't go near water at all. At year 12 camp, I got thrown in the pool at the deep end. And I kept saying to all the boys that I can't swim, I can't swim, I can't swim. And they thought I was joking and threw me in, and everyone was just staring there looking at me, and I thought I was going to die that day.
Okay. So there's some previous trauma that's gone on there.
Yes.
Yes. So my question to you is, going up to your knees, is that, and it's a 4 out of 10, is that big enough for you to feel that you have actually expanded your comfort zone a little bit? Like if you went from up to your knees is a 4 out of 10. If you went up like mid-thigh, what's that score out of 10?
Yeah, that'll be scarier. That'll be a bit scarier. That's probably I'd probably go that one.
Okay, so what number, what fear number is that out of 10 for mid-thigh?
That'll probably be a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see how like staying at your knee at a fear of 4 is not stretching you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But going in that little bit higher up to like mid-thigh.
Yeah.
And maybe you do it mid-thigh, holding on to Chris's hand or holding on to somebody's hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then go mid-thigh by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But staying at knee level is not going to give you that expansion of your comfort zone at all, really.
Okay.
Yeah. This is about like expanding your comfort zone means you have to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I'm asking you, what's your fear score? Because if it's really low, then this is not uncomfortable enough.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. The fear score needs to be a little bit higher, and that means you need to push yourself a little bit further, because you can.
Yeah.
If you've got up to mid-knee, then you can probably do up to mid-thigh. And if you need to take that in 2 steps with, you know, somebody holding your hand, making sure that you're kind of good, you've got that sort of extra comfort zone, you know, that extra sort of security space there. And then doing it by yourself, and then the next level. And this is what I mean by let's make it something that is actually a challenge. If it's 20 out of 10, too far.
Yeah.
But 4 out of 10, not enough of a challenge.
No worries. Yep.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yep. I also would love to know what your fear score out of 10 is for working out pricing for your baklava.
Can't even go there.
Well, I am because
no idea.
Because I don't know if you know, but it's not next Monday, but it's the Monday after that is our final graduation event, and like we need to pay you for your baklava, so you need to be able to quote us so that we can pay you.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So what's your fear score out of 10 for that?
That one's a 10.
Okay. Okay. So what's something that's a 6 or 7? that can get you to that next step?
Oh. I don't know.
Have you written,
It's
I mean,
scary.
maybe writing down the cost of all the different ingredients that you need and the cost
Yeah.
of those ingredients and how much time.
Yeah.
Yeah. See how you can kind of sneak up on that, up on your
Yeah.
up onto your comfort zone by, I think it was Vayos who said, doing some preparation. Yeah. Working out, doing some planning and some preparation. That can include, okay, working out, okay, so for one batch of baklava, it takes, I don't know, a whole 500 grams of butter, honey, sugar, nuts, this, and pricing out all of those elements individually.
Yeah.
And then having a look, okay, how much time does that take
Yeah.
for me to make one whole batch of baklava?
Yeah.
That's a nice, easy way you can sneak up on that scary thing of, oh, I've got to come up with a price.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that is a 10 out. I know, and that's why I'm asking you, right? Because I'm here to push that comfort zone and help you to do that for yourself, right? So that you've got the skills to be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So doing the pricing and stuff, what's that out of 10? How scary is that?
That's not that scary.
There you go. So do that.
Yeah.
And then we can, and then you've got, okay, well, I'm now not going from here, like from here to here. I'm going from here to here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaking up on your comfort zone. It's a really cool thing to do.
Okay.
Questions, comments, thoughts. I've just realized we have 15 minutes left. Questions, comments, thoughts, or random questions about any other stuff. Everybody's gone quiet. Have I dazzled you all so much that nobody has any questions? Catherine, you look like you're on the edge of asking me a question.
I am. So I just wanted to know, because you said, like, you know, to take more steps to take yourself out of the comfort zone. So how do you, because obviously I'm someone who doesn't know how to do that. I will just, you know, go into and so I what's the strategy, or how do you establish these small steps?
Great question. All right, so let's say that your goal is, I don't know, what's one of the things that you want to achieve?
Oh God.
I mean, apart from world domination, you know, like that's what everybody wants, surely.
Oh wow. Oh, gosh, that's hard.
It doesn't matter if it's related to your side hustle or anything. Let's just go with, what's one thing that you'd like to achieve in the next however often?
What would I like to achieve? Well, I mean, yeah, I'd like to grow, you know, the business, or maybe you know, get more, like, learn ways of growing the business.
Okay, you know how you said you like there's that huge leap?
Yeah.
What's the next huge leap that you're kind of staring down the barrel of?
Well, I mean, to be able to grow, I think just investing, you know, more money into it to be able to do more promotion.
Okay, so let's just say that the next kind of big step is chucking in a bucket of money. Yeah. So what are some of the steps that you can do along the way to investing that bucket of money that will make that risk less risky? So rather than chucking in a bucket of money and then going, oh, shit, doing that, what are some of the things that you can do before you get to chucking in the money, chucking things into a bucket of money? What are some steps that you could take?
doing like what Vayos said, I guess, researching and, you know, calculating how much money that's necessary, seeing what avenues that, you know, yeah, doing my research on, you know, where to throw the money at, what to target, and how much to put in, how much to invest in each of those areas,
Yeah.
to be able to grow.
Because especially when, like, you know, I think at any point in time, throwing money after a thing is only worthwhile if you know where to put the right money at the right time. Otherwise, you can just chuck money like left hand over fist into something,
Yeah.
not realizing that the bucket has got a hole in the bottom.
Yeah.
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 So having a look at, okay, what are the smart ways that I can spend? If I have to spend money on my business, yeah, like that's kind of a given. To make money, you sort of have to do something, you know, you have to spend money normally. But how can I make sure I'm doing that in a really smart way? How can I, like the money that I want to spend, or maybe I think I need to spend, let's have a look at, is that a smart thing I'm doing? What are the outcomes that I can expect from that? How do I know if that's even like, if it's working?
You need analytics.
You don't have to go into like the gory detail, but you need to have a bit of an idea of, okay, rather than just going, okay, I'm going to chuck $1,000 into the bucket and then just, oh, spend it here, spend it there, spend it, oh, I don't even know where. Go, okay, out of that $1,000, $100 of it goes here, 200 of it goes here, 50 of it goes here. Where is that actual money going to go to? What is the outcome that I want to get out of, that I want to achieve out of spending that money? It's kind of like taking, you know how there's that saying, how do you eat an elephant? One mouthful at a time. This is kind of reverse engineering that one mouthful at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, because it seems like at the moment you're taking these enormous trying to, and like swallowing the whole elephant and then getting indigestion. Yeah, so you're forgetting about that. You can just take a mouthful at a time. You're kind of going, swallowing the whole thing and then going, shit, how do I chew this now?
Yeah, and then I think being impatient doesn't help.
Yeah, it doesn't help at all.
I just want things to happen.
Yes, everybody does. Everybody wants everything to happen yesterday. And guess what? It's not going to happen. Like overnight successes, people who are overnight successes, it takes them 10 years sometimes to be an overnight success. Learning how to be patient, follow the process. I know process is almost like a dirty word for me too. Yeah. Because I'm kind of the same. I like to just sort of dive in and then go, right, okay, how is this going to work now? And I've learned that by doing that, it actually creates a lot more hard work for me than taking a bite, taking a bite, taking a bite, taking a bite. Some of the bites are really big bites. Some of them are smaller bites, but I'm not trying to swallow the whole thing at once. Yeah. If you literally think about stuffing your face, what's something that you love to eat?
Cake.
Cake. I was hoping you were going to say cake. Like taking cake and just shoveling it so much into your mouth that there's no more space for any more cake, right? It's really hard to chew on that cake, even to be able to swallow any of that cake when your mouth is so full of cake. Sometimes it's good to have a mouthful. Sometimes it's good to take kind of a couple of mouthfuls at once. Sometimes, but it's never good to have that much cake in your mouth.
Yeah.
That's the difference between jumping into something totally and then struggling and getting to burnout versus, you know what, I'm going to enjoy this cake one mouthful at a time. Sometimes I'm going to take a bigger amount. Sometimes it's a crumb at a time. But I'm just going to enjoy the journey of eating this cake, going through this process. I'm going to get to the end of the cake. I'm going to get to, the cake is all done. But I'm going to enjoy the process as I go along.
Question is, how do you reverse engineer when you don't really know, the breakdown of things? Like,
You guess.
Okay.
You take some guesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not about knowing all the details of everything. It's about going, you know what? To make a cake for me to eat, I need to buy the ingredients, do this, crack the eggs, do that. And it's it's the broad steps. Yeah. Because I get that you're not a detailed person. I'm not a detailed person either. Right. Sometimes the devil's in the detail. So you don't need to have every minute detail at all. Like if that's not your jam, don't go into all the detail. Create some decent sized blocks then of this. There's 4 steps that I need to do in order to know that I'm comfortable in making that next big leap. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I think I actually would have to, think about it.
Yes.
Something that, doesn't cross my mind to do.
Yes.
So I'll have to, I'll have to consciously think about it. And
like seriously, that's what this is. Like if you're used to jumping in at the deep end and doing that, it may take conscious effort for you to go, you know what? Every time I do that, the end result is I get to burn out. If I don't want to do that, I have to do something different, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. And that includes if your strategy is, I'm going to dive in head first, overwhelm, overload, burn out, rest for a moment, and then be like, right, okay, dive in again. This is not sustainable. Yeah. If that's the strategy and you know that it's not really helpful, it's not really sustainable, you consciously have to do something different. If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And at the back of the mind, I'm thinking change is the only constant.
Yeah, it is. But if you keep doing the same pattern and the same strategy, because in the macro level, that big high level, you're doing the same strategy over and over and over again. The stuff underneath it may feel different and maybe kind of, I feel like I'm doing all these different things. Yay. But if the strategy at the top of dive in, burn out, dive in, burn out, dive in, burn out, that strategy isn't changing, then that's not a helpful thing to do. Yeah. Makes sense?
Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Bryony, question.
I'm just gonna add on to what you said.
Please.
It's just making me funny because when you said dive in and then like burn out, it just makes me remember of like the game Flappy Bird, when it goes up and then down and then boom, it just dies.
I have no idea what that game is, but yeah, sure.
It represents like burning out. Yeah, and then it's actually creepy because I actually have Instagram, so there was a reel that I saw that was talking about this, like how as humans, like we tend to focus on the end result and the goal instead of like the process of it or the journey that we have to take. And then there was this, they said that they'd rather focus on the consistency, efficiency, and like the effectiveness of like what they're doing to execute it rather than the end result. So I think that would be really valuable for us as humans, like taking small steps and like analyzing how we're actually doing it, and like rather than saying, yeah, I'm going to get this in the end.
Small things done consistently create big, big, big results. Big
Yeah.
results. Hey, I've just realized that I'm supposed to have done a poll and I haven't done it, and there's now not very many of us left. Can I just launch it and get you guys to do it? Because I'm so terrible at remembering to do these things. Can you guys see that on your screen?
Yes.
Good. I
never remember when you're rating it all from a scale from 1 to 5, is 1 being low and 5 being like the best?
I wish that was on here.
I don't know which order. Like
low and 5 is the best.
Okay.
I would say yeah, because like 5-star rating, I'm going to go with that. 5 is fabulous. 5 is yay, and 1 is
usually presented. So yeah.
I even wrote myself a note so that I would remember to do it, and then I just didn't look at the note.
It's all right. Maybe set a reminder.
But then I have my phone on silent so that I don't, so that I don't get mum ringing me in the middle of.
Label your alarm. You can label alarms and be like, check this, and then put the alarm.
Yeah, but that means I don't need to keep my phone right there so I see it flash up. Has everybody filled that in? Because it's just saying 0 of 4 have completed.
I filled one.
Okay, everybody's got it done?
Yeah, submitted.
Okay, cool, thank you. I just hope that goes to wherever it needs to go to. I don't even know, but yay, yay, yay. All right, in our last second, can I get you guys to type in what has been your biggest learning, your biggest takeaway from today? What's been your light bulb moment or something that's reconfirmed for you? What has been your biggest takeaway? And Chris and Antonia, different ones for you too, for each of you, please.
They already left.
Sorry?
Are they still here?
Yeah, Chris and Antonia are still here.
Oh. I think the biggest takeaway was that the be, do, and have. But I actually already heard that before when it said analyze who you want to be and then get the actions to do it, and then you have what you want. But I just didn't know it in that form or that equation.
Yeah.
So it's simpler to remember, like an acronym before an exam, for example. So yeah. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. There is another level to be plus do equals have. Do you want to know it?
No.
Okay.
Yes. He said, do you know it?
No. Do you want to know it?
Yes.
It goes, next level is be plus do equals have plus give. What does that mean? Who do I need to be? Plus what do I need to do to have what I want to have so that I can give what I want to give? Basically means that you can't give if you don't have. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? So you need to build you. This is a good one for parents. If you're listening,
can you do that one? Can you say that one again?
Sure. It's be plus do equals have plus give. So who do I need to be? Plus what do I need to do to have what I want to have so that I can give what I'd like to give?
That is so true.
Yes, I know, but it all starts with
yes,
who's the boss of you, right?
I was always giving without actually focusing on myself ever. So hence this is why I'm here.
Yes. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So that's why that formula, like you can add on that extra bit to give what you want to give. But until you work out the B plus do equals have, there is no way that you can give because you don't have anything to give. You don't have anything to give. All right, Chris, small steps and nothing changes if nothing changes. Oh, that's Antonia. Yes, taking the small steps, it means that your comfort zone expands and it includes a whole heap of stuff along the way. The journey is as good as the destination. Oh. Catherine's like, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I just want to get to the destination.
Yeah, take the journey of enjoying all of the steps in the journey, because what it does is it allows you to have a fuller and richer experience of life, a fuller and richer experience of growth, of all kinds of things all along the way, rather than everything being a scramble. That doesn't create a richness in life. It creates a lot of panic and fear and lack and how do I make it work next time? Rather than how do I enjoy it along the way as I'm building my empire or I'm building whatever it is that I'm building. Yeah. Chris loved B plus do equals have, me too. That is my overarching life formula. I have tried to break that formula in every possible way because it just feels like it was too easy, like way too easy. So I tried to just mess with it and go, no, it can't be right because it's too easy. And it works. Please try and mess it up. Please prove me wrong. I would love for you to test out these things for yourself and come to the conclusion, I did it myself, because I'm just like, that just seems too easy. It's 8 letters. Seriously? Can't be. And they're all teeny tiny words. How does that even work? Test it, test it, test it. Catherine said to consciously think about taking small steps to get out of my comfort zone rather than taking big leaps. Yes, it's way less exhausting.
I'll have to try it out.
Please, 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 please test it out. See how you go. Like, test these things out. Yeah, just because like I'm saying stuff or Elijah's saying stuff or Marcus is saying stuff, test it out for yourself, because different strategies work but differently for different people. The strategy that I use may not be the strategy that works for you. Catherine, if the way of taking those enormous leaps, doing that and then going, having a rest for a moment and then going, all right, okay, let's just do it again. Yep, good night. If that's working for you, keep doing it. If it's truly working for you, keep doing it. If it is not, then it's time to look at doing something different. Yeah, It's time for doing something different. You guys are amazing and I love you all. And I'm going to be very sad when we're no longer doing this. Can I also please do a shout out and a thank you to any of you who have taken up the offer of enrolling for free in my mindset course, the one that I put into the group. Brian is looking like, what are you talking about? I can see that face. If you have, and if you have not, but would like to, it's you did?
I can't see it.
You can't see it? It's in the Facebook group. I posted a link in there.
Oh, you meant here.
No, it's in the Facebook group. It is a course an online course that I've just finished creating on Udemy. I've sent a link. There's a link in there to give you free access. It's designed to help people pass their English language test, but all of the concepts are all relevant for any kind of stressful thing, increasing your mindset, building the skills that we're talking about here. So if you would love to do it, I would certainly love to get your help to give some feedback, put a rating on it, all that kind of stuff. Because what that does is a thing called social proof, where other people go, oh, there's 25 people that have registered and everybody's given it 5 stars, so it must be good. And then they're happy to try it out too. So this is called social proof. If you guys can help me out with that, that will make a world of difference and help more people to also realize that their mindset is a very powerful thing, including when they're taking tests and in stressful situations. Lots of good free tips in there.
I've signed up and registered and everything, but I don't know how to navigate where to put the feedback, because when I click on the reviews, it says there are no reviews right now, but it doesn't give me an option to write something or
okay. So I think the tip is, and I heard this from Elijah because he worked it out, is when it's got like the whole list of the videos, if you put a tick that basically says that you've watched some videos, it will then pop up and say, what's your rating? And if you then put ticks in all of them to say, it kind of says I've watched it, it's like, I agree to the terms and conditions. I have read these, which nobody ever has. If you just put ticks in everything, then it will pop up and ask you to put in like a review and a rating. You can then go back and still watch everything.
Yeah.
And I encourage you to, I invite you to do that. But that's how you can kind of fast track to that point.
Oh, okay. Because I have watched the first few, and then I thought, because you wanted the review, so I thought I'll just skip, I didn't know how just to get to the review section to put something for you, but I just couldn't find it, so I wasn't sure.
That's why, because it pumps it up at a certain point, but you have to kind of just trick it and say, yeah, I've watched it, I've watched them.
I will definitely watch it all. I just didn't want to, again, I just wanted to get to the destination to do the review for you.
And I love you for that. I do love you for that. Enjoy the journey.
We love you too, Anita.
Enjoy that. All right, now Monday, remember, we've got Monday, then Wednesday, then the following Monday is our final event, our final graduation party. And I think there's a public holiday coming up soon. Is there, or am I on drugs? Maybe
Labor
I'm on drugs.
Day. I think it's Labor Day.
That's not till March though, I think. So I think we're clear. I've got a note in my diary in the spreadsheet here that there's a public holiday, but I think that was when we had different dates. All right. So on Monday, we are going to be doing a session with me about how your language, the language that you use for yourself, your self-talk, the language that you speak outwardly also, when you change your language, how that changes your life. So powerful. And then Elijah and Marcus will be doing the second session on systems and support to help you make sure that your business continues to thrive. That's going to be an ace one. Then next week, Wednesday, this is something to look out for. We are going to be doing some stuff about practicing getting out of your comfort zone and putting yourself out there. Whatever that means to you, putting yourself out there. I probably shouldn't have told you. I should have just made it that, guess what? You're going to be putting yourself out there today. So if any of you are not there, I will know that it's because I've told you in advance. Remember, this program is about expanding your comfort zone, expanding your thinking, changing the way that you do stuff, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. It's time to go now, amazing humans. Love you long time. Be well, stay awesome. If you have any other questions, of course, put them into the Facebook group and we will do our best to answer them as well.
Amazing. Thank you. Have a great rest of the week.
You too. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.